Grumble, grumble.
Hey everyone, it's the Grumpy Meeple, and I'm coming back at you with another Hero Pack preview. This time we are looking at the Cursed Eternal, which was made available through the Gates of Valhalla and Valley of the Serpent Kings Kickstarter back in, I want to say it was 2019, somewhere along there. So this was a Kickstarter exclusive. So you're going to have to get your hands on it through a Kickstarter or through eBay or something like that, because it's not going to be available in any other way. So let's see here. Lost in the jungle swamps of the New World for months, the Spanish expedition to find the mythical Fountain of Youth was thought to have ended in disaster. But the faithful explorers did find what they sought. Through a shimmering gateway leading into a deeper, darker swamp, overrun with strange creatures and carnivorous flora, they discovered their heart's desire. A wellspring that granted eternal life to any that drank from its glimmering waters. But this gift came with a price. For though the magical waters would heal all wounds and prevent death, they also accelerated aging and leached away the drinker's life force, bringing a dark curse and a touch of evil to those that consumed it. Only by continuously drinking from the fountain could they stave off this deterioration. Collecting a supply of the mystical water, they soon discovered their bottles would magically refill once they drank from them. And their swords, dipped in the pool, could absorb the life force of foes they struck down. The curse of eternal life was to live at the edge of death. This hero pack contains everything you need to play as a Cursed Eternal. You get your models and blah blah blah. The Cursed Eternal is a new hero class that can be added to your games of Shadows of Brimstone. He is a veteran explorer and swordsman with years of experience in keeping the darkness at bay. Okay. So, playing as a Cursed Eternal is a bit different from playing as most other hero classes. They are fun and powerful fighters with many sinister tricks up their sleeves that come from being touched by the darkness. The Fountain's Curse and magically refilling bottle of fountain water are both a blessing and curse. Okay, well, the Fountain's Curse pretty much just sounds like a curse. As your life force is constantly being drained away, but it allows you to shrug off most injuries, mutations, and even death. Only your growing madness truly persists over time. A Cursed Eternal can also be a powerful asset to any hero party, allowing everyone to draw extra loot cards from fights. The downside, of course, being that the Cursed Eternal also brings extra danger, as well as extra potential XP, due to their stalked by darkness ability, attracting extra evil to the group along the way. So these guys appear to function very similar to the Drifter hero class, where they're more powerful than your standard hero class, especially at the outset, but they come with a downside, basically, that kind of offsets their power. Mythical Conquistador. A Cursed Eternal counts as a Conquistador hero for all ability and card text, though they do not add a team ability card to the card pool when playing with other Conquistadors, though they do have the ability to gain this through level upgrades. The Cursed Eternal starts with the Fountain Water item as a free personal item. In addition to this, they should also draw a random personal item as normal. It is best if this is drawn from the Conquistador personal items, but if you do not have these, it can be drawn from any set of personal items that you do have instead. Cursed Eternals are well-traveled, after all. They use ambition, basically just like the other Conquistador characters, and then you've got their Stalked by Darkness. The Cursed Eternal attracts hordes of enemies that can sense the darkness within him. Whenever a threat is drawn that would have a variable number of enemies, instead of rolling, automatically use the max number possible. Ooh, it's brutal. If the enemy group has a fixed number of enemies, or if already maxed out by another Cursed Eternal on the team, for instance, then that enemy group instead gains a free elite ability. The benefit, however, is that the Cursed Eternal is very good at hunting down treasures, and the enemies that seek him out often carry more treasures with them. That means that at the end of every fight, each hero is allowed to draw 1 extra loot card to the normal max of 3 loot cards per hero per fight. This stacks if more than 1 Cursed Eternal are in the hero party. So that is pretty powerful and a pretty fun way to play the game, because you will be gearing up quickly and getting gold much faster than you normally would. Then they've got a couple of FAQ and notes. Question: if you're killed by a double 1 roll on the madness table, does the fountain's curse bring you back? No, the fountain can't save you. Question: the Eternal Dread skill tree upgrade says you are immune to growing dread cards. How does this affect canceling growing dread cards? A Cursed Eternal with Eternal Dread does not need to spend a grit with the rest of the hero party to cancel a growing dread card. Treat all growing dread cards as though the Cursed Eternal is not in play. Bonuses that an enemy gains from a growing dread card are unaffected by this ability. And then finally, question: if a single threat card includes both a variable number of enemies and a fixed number of different enemies, what happens? The variable enemies are the max amount, but the fixed enemies do not gain an elite ability. Okay, well that's a little finicky. I can imagine that being problematic. So here we've got their kind of character level up sheet. And you can see here, or maybe you cannot, starting upgrade choices. Cursed Eternal starting upgrades focus on the ability to fend off hordes of enemies as a swordsman, gaining grit and gold through exploring while increasing your attacks in other worlds, and utilizing the power of the darkness to gain powerful bonuses from turn to turn. Ghost Blade Mastery. Having mastered your skills with the supernatural blade that hungers to drain the life essence of its targets, this upgrade allows you to turn each of your successful combat hits into a combat hit on every enemy adjacent to you, instead of only one of them. Good God. This can be a powerful tool to regain health, and truly deadly when surrounded by hordes of enemies, which you often are because of Stalked by Darkness. That's insanely powerful. Glorious Expedition. This upgrade grants a steady trickle of gold and grit for simply exploring the map and moving the hero party marker forward on the depth track. It also gives extra combat and shots with ranged weapons that have a shot value while exploring the unknown regions of alien worlds. And then finally, Touched by Evil. Perhaps the most versatile of the starting upgrades. Touched by Evil draws power from the darkness that infests your soul, granting extra strength and letting you choose a bonus each turn from those listed on the card, as well as an extra bonus for each darkness card that currently remains in play. Oh, that's cool. So they get, under that tree, they get stronger as the darkness cards kind of come out. That's really cool. Let's take a look at the cards for those 3 kind of trees. Let's see. So you get the Fountain's Curse. So yeah, we'll start with the Fountain's Curse. All right. Free starting upgrade, Cursed Immortality. At the start of your activation each turn, take 1 hit ignoring armor, or 2 hits if the darkness is in the middle stage of the depth track, or 3 if it's in the top stage. At the start of any turn, you may automatically recover from being KO'd by wounds. Roll for injury and healing as normal, then recover 1 grit. Anytime you would be actually killed, you are automatically returned to life, but must roll once on the madness chart. That's really cool. So he gets crazy as he dies and gets resurrected. I like that. So that's the starting upgrade for all Cursed Eternals. And then here we've got the 3 specializations. Ghost Blade Mastery. Whenever you assign a combat hit to an adjacent enemy using your Ghost Blade, you may do a combat hit to every adjacent enemy instead. Note that a critical hit only counts as a critical hit against the initial target and a normal combat hit against each other adjacent enemy. Okay, well, still freaking powerful. We've got Glorious Expedition. We talked about this. Yeah, whenever the hero party marker moves onto a blood spatter or growing dread space of the depth track, you may recover a grit and gain d6 times $10. While in an Otherworld, you are +1 combat and +1 shot with any ranged attack. And then Touched by Evil. +1 strength. At the start of every turn, choose one of the following. You may choose 1 extra for each darkness card that currently remains in play. Limit once for each choice. You can take +1 combat this turn, +2 initiative this turn. You can swap 1 ambition for 1 grit, or vice versa. You can roll 2 extra dice for scavenging this turn, or you can heal 1 sanity. That's really cool. That gives you a lot of options. That's very cool. Just a cool class. All right, in terms of their upgrades, chart on their upgrade chart, Memory of Exploration, you now add 1 extra Conquistador team ability card to the pool at the start of each adventure. So if you roll a 2 when you level up, you get the ability to add those team cards. Let's see if there's anything else particularly interesting. 12, Unmatched Skill. You may choose an extra ability from the Cursed Eternal upgrade chart. What the hell does that mean? Holy shit. So if you roll a 12 when you're playing as a Cursed Eternal leveling up, you get to pick another fucking ability. Oh my god, that is insane. Woo! You got to roll 12, but still. All right, moving on to the upgrade chart. You've got 4 trees: Daring, Cursed Existence, Dueling, and Legendary Conquistador. So let's see here. Rope Swing, whenever you roll a 6+ for move, gain plus d6 move. You may spend 3 movement to move through other models and automatically pass escape tests. Daring Challenge, once per fight, at the start of an enemy group's activation, force all of them to immediately retarget to you for this turn and gain 25 XP. That works even if they can't reach you. I mean, that could be really powerful as a defensive ability. You've got Global Ambition. Once per turn, when you use Ambition to reroll a d6, if that die then rolls a natural 5 or 6 before the +2, recover an Ambition. Okay. And you get +1 Cunning. And then Heart of Adventure. You may now roll a d8 for move. Okay, that's really fucking weak, but whatever. Ruthless Warfare. Whenever you kill any enemy, gain $10 and heal 1 wound or sanity. At the start of each turn, recover a grit on the d6 roll of 4+. I don't like that at all. Let's move on. Cursed Existence, Dark Calling. Once per fight, draw a darkness card to add +2d6 damage to one of your hits. This hit may ignore endurance. +1 max ambition. Huh. So that could potentially be really powerful if you were soloing, because you might draw a darkness card that doesn't actually impact you, and you just get to add a shitload of damage. Like, that would be really powerful in a boss fight too. You know, at the end of the adventure, you roll those extra 2d6 damage and, you know, wipe the guy out in one mighty blow. That's pretty cool. Sinister Whisper. Once per turn, trigger a depth event chart, or trigger a depth event, roll a d6 for which... Trigger a depth event to add 4 extra dice to a skill test or to force an enemy model to reroll all of their 2 hit rolls just rolled. Oh, that's not a very good deal. Depth events are fucking brutal. I don't know about that. Maybe if, again, you were facing a boss and he just rolled 15 hits. Leeching cuts. While using the Ghost Blade, you now heal 1 wound for each of your combat hits that is 1 or more wounds to an enemy model. +1 agility. Okay, so that's insanely powerful combined with the Ghost Blade Mastery, obviously, because you're hitting everyone around you, and every time you do a wound, you're stealing life back. So that's super powerful. I'm surprised that's not the final ability. And then Eternal's Dread. You now take double the normal number of hits from the Fountain's Curse each turn. You are now immune to the effects of Growing Dread cards. Oh, in addition to the Darkness cards. And you get +2 combat. That's pretty powerful. I'm not gonna lie. Dueling. Run through. Once per turn, when you kill an enemy with a combat hit, you may immediately do d6 wounds, ignoring defense to another enemy adjacent to it, but not adjacent to you. Oh my god. So again, you combine that with your cleave ability, and now you're hitting everybody who is it adjacent to your enemy? Let's go back here. Just to every adjacent enemy. And you can pierce through. Can only do it once per turn. Still, that's awesome. This guy could take on like whole packs. Years of practice. At the start of each fight, gain 1 free dueling tactic token worth up to $50. You gain the keyword showman and +1 agility. Dueling focus. While only 1 enemy is currently targeting you, add +1 to your defense rolls on hits from that enemy. You get +1 initiative. And then Unguard. While you have a hand open, you are +2 combat and your critical hits are +d6 damage. You get +2 max ambition. That's pretty powerful. You can crit hit with an extra d6 damage. I mean, you could really, again, raffle stomp people, especially if you could get multiple. Because it's possible on a roll to get an extra skill, you could combine some of these things and be really savage if you had 12 upgrades. Legendary Conquistador. In Old Life, choose a new ability from the Conquistador hero upgrade chart following the normal restrictions. In Old Life may be taken multiple times, +1 max grid. Wait, what? Choose a new ability from the Conquistador hero upgrade chart. An Old Life may be taken multiple times. So by choosing this, it lets you choose something else. Oh, from the Conquistador hero upgrade chart. Oh, awesome. So now you get 2 upgrade charts to choose from. Wow, that has so much potential. That is rad. Explorer Spirit. You may now add a Conquistador team ability card to the pool at the start of each adventure, and your +1 luck, +1 spirit. Destiny. Once per adventure, you may ready your fountain water. You gain keyword soldier, +1 max ambition. Conquest. Whenever you kill an enemy, place d6 sanity markers on their record sheet. At the start of any turn, remove sanity markers from an enemy record sheet equal to the enemy's defense to choose a model of that enemy group and remove it from play. Wait, what? Let's read this again. This sounds crazy. Whenever you kill an enemy, place d6 sanity markers on their record sheet. At the start of any turn, remove sanity markers from an enemy record sheet equal to the enemy's defense to choose a model of that enemy group and remove it from play. Wow, so as you're killing stuff, you have the potential to bank further kills, essentially. They're not really kills because you're just like one-shotting them off the board, but wow. I mean, that could be insanely powerful. I mean, you could kill, you know, an enemy with 25 hit points and just completely move him off the map, even after he's got all his elite abilities and everything. I mean, that's really powerful. This is a really powerful class, I'm not gonna lie. All right, Curse Eternal is Spanish, Traveler, Otherworld, and Myth, or Otherworld Myth. His 2-hit is 4+ on range, 3+ on melee, combat 2, max crit 2, agility, cunning spirit, strength, lore, luck. You can see all that, I assume. Initiative of 4. It's all right. Health 12, sanity 10, 3+ willpower. It's pretty good. And we talked about all of this. Let's take a look at the starting items now. And their personal item. So, starting with the personal item, we've got the fountain water. Once per adventure, fully heal your health and remove all injuries, mutations, and status effect markers you have. God. That is insanely powerful. And then they start with the Ghost Blade. Whenever you kill an enemy model, heal 2 wounds for every 5 health that enemy had, rounding up. If equipped as two-handed, your combat hits do extra damage equal to half your hero level, rounding up, and ignore armor and cover. Wow. That's really powerful. And then you've got the Eternal's Armor. Armor 6+, gives you +3 health. And then finally, we've got the miniatures here. Again, these are just kind of done up in my lazy style, but you can see he's got the Burning Blade, his Flowing Cloak, his armor, and he's got that bottle of water from the Fountain of Youth. And then here is the female model. Very similar, but a little bit cooler, a little more dynamic pose. You don't see a lot of Brimstone miniatures that have that kind of framing where they're not just like standing with their feet planted. This is actually a pretty cool miniature. All right, and that is it for the Cursed Eternal from the Valley of the Serpent Kings. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think about this character class in the comments. I think they look insanely powerful. I'm not convinced that their downsides outweigh that, especially after having looked at their upgrade chart. But if you've got any experience actually playing with them, let me know. And maybe you ran into some problems with them, or maybe they just fucking stomp everything. All right, that's all I had for today. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will talk to you later.